What up, everybody? It's Rob the Metal Guy, and I'm back at you with another video. For this video, I decided to take some time and, well, give a shout out to one of the greatest metal albums of all time that's actually celebrating its 40th anniversary. That's right, I'm talking about Mercyful Fate's Don't Break the Oath, released in 1984. Can you believe it? 40 years. Iconic album. And it was just this past week I was looking on social media, and I believe it was Metal Blade Records has announced that for the 40th anniversary, they are going to do a special re-release of the album. Going to print it on, I think, colored vinyl, doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? T-shirts, the whole shebang. And it got me thinking, because this is an album from Mercyful Fate that I have listened to a lot throughout the years. Gonna kind of talk in this video too about, the first time I heard Mercyful Fate. Actually, I first heard King Diamond when I was in high school, and I was just a fan ever since. And then, of course, got into Mercyful Fate right after I was listening to King Diamond there, and just enjoying all those releases from King Diamond's solo career and from Mercyful Fate, the band that he was in before going solo, a band that so many artists have referenced as an influence, played a pivotal role in that scene in the early 80s metal period. Thrash metal bands have cited Mercyful Fate as an influence, as well as just a variety of bands in the metal genres, doom metal bands. And might as well bring it up here. I have my copy on vinyl that I've had for a while. This is a Don't Break the Oath here, Metal Blade Records. Of course, it's not an original. I wish. That would be cool. But this was, released, gosh, who knows when, a few years back. I picked this up. Actually, I ordered from Hell's Headbangers. Hell's Headbangers, give a shout to them, that distribution site. They are amazing. I buy a lot of releases from them. And one time I was on there, I saw they had this available. They had, again, the reissue on vinyl of this from Metal Blade, and I decided I got to purchase. Have the CD in my CD collection, but I thought I'd just pull out the vinyl. The album artwork is iconic for Don't Break the Oath. As you see, you got the devil through the flames pointing, right? Almost like commanding, the person, don't you turn back on what you promised, right? I've always loved this artwork. Stands out very much so when you first see it. It just kind of hooks you. And then the music. I mean, Michael Denner and Hank Sherman as guitar players, holy crap. When you listen to this release, they just stand out. And I love how it's such a dynamic release, right? There's something about it. And I'm going to be honest, I do like Melissa, the first Mercyful Fate record. The first EP is iconic as well, very much. I think one of my favorite Mercyful Fate songs is on that, Doomed by the Living Dead. And Nuns Have No Fun. That's a good song as well. But personally, for me, it's all about Don't Break the Oath. Like, this is the apex when it comes to Mercyful Fate records. I'm just honestly going to say that. And so when I saw that it was celebrating 40 years, I felt, man, my next video, I haven't done a video in a while. I apologize. Busy, not really, having much to, I feel like, in content. And, I should make videos regularly, but at the same time, my feeling is I just don't want to show up and babble for no reason. Where this, I said, hey, an album deserves, shout out and recommendation if you haven't heard this. I mean, if you have not heard this release from Mercyful Fate, or you haven't even heard of Mercyful Fate or King Diamond for that matter, you need to do so, because this release is amazing. But as much as I love King Diamond as a vocalist, this album to me is about the whole band, right? Even Timmy Hansen on bass, he comes up with some great bass lines, the rhythms, and also Kim Ruz, the drummer on this release, is really good. Talented player, and there's a lot of different time signatures, and you could hear progressive rock influence on here, but you also have the moments of, I call it like thrash, that you could hear where thrash bands would take that and kind of expand upon, and also doom, right? A lot of slow, dark, haunting sections, which fits the songs, right? Which the occult, Satan, just pure evil, right? That King Diamond's coming up with in terms of lyrics. I mean, the opening song, A Dangerous Meeting, that riff, right when you hear it, is just so epic, right? That sound, the way that gallop, that riff kind of, moves, right? I just loved when I first heard it. And the guitar and the lead guitar playing, right, is also very precise. It has a certain quality to it that you will eventually hear on other King Diamond releases, but in a different approach. Because Andy LaRocque, eventually, when he and King come together, I feel that relationship that's explored even further with the concept albums and also the real shredding, right? But I feel like together, Hank Sherman and Michael Denner, the way they trade off and their styles just stands out, right? From the right, the first like couple songs. But my favorite song of this is Night of the Unborn. I really like it. If you haven't heard that one, it's probably my favorite off this release. And then Gypsy, that's a great song. Emperor actually covered it for one of their albums there, I think in the Nightside Eclipse, one of the tracks. And then Welcome Princess of Hell. And then Come to the Sabbath, the last song on this release. I like, King's vocals throughout that song. Actually, the intro when he's, saying the lyrics, come to the Sabbath. It's so epic, so just stands out, right, when you're listening to it. And I know that Metal Blade, like I said, for this 40th anniversary is going to be doing something special. We'll see if it's worth it. Again, I already have it on vinyl. I just have the regular black, vinyl. I don't need a color variant for this album. I just like to own a physical copy of this album on vinyl, as well as I said, I have it on CD. But the lyric sheet for this, Metal Blade does a really good job with their releases. As you can see, I like how they print the lyrics. Everything looks great. Hell, I'd love to have an original. I'm sure some of the older metal fans out there or people that have been lucky might have a copy. That's awesome if you do. But for me, I just was happy to get this finally on vinyl as well, because I do have it. Like I said, I feel like I repeated myself there on CD. But, it's an album, like, I don't mind having both copies. And heck, if I find an original and it's worth, the price, maybe, and it's fair, I might get it. But I just have been a fan, like I said, when I first got into King Diamond. I was a teenager, fan of metal, different types, and I had come across King Diamond. First album I bought on CD was them. Loved it, would listen to it all the time when I was driving up to school. And then from there, just kept, buying releases from King Diamond and Mercyful Fate. And I feel like a lot of people in the metal community too, right? There's a strong connection. Like, you just get it, right? You just are just drawn to this type of music. Again, death metal fans, black metal, so many bands. You would think, okay, all these different subgenres, they all come to King Diamond, right? There's quite a few really fanatical fans of King Diamond and Mercyful Fate. And I feel like, the King has just been one of those forces in heavy metal music that he keeps going no matter what it is, right? Whether it be being a Mercyful Fate, whether it be doing his solo career, like, just coming up with some really iconic releases, just great songwriting, telling stories, and his vocal range, right? The falsetto, the screams. And I'll tell this story because it just also reminded me what I'm sure a lot of metal fans we go through, right? Dealing with people that are not into metal and stuff. And when I was in high school, again, a lot of the heaviest thing kids at my high school, I'll be honest, really was listening to was like Metallica, right? The heaviest thing, is Kill Switch Engage and Slipknot, yeah. Oh my God, you get that crap. No Morbid Angel, no DSI, no Bolt Thrower, no black metal bands like Graveland and Gorgoroth, Immortal, hell, no, and especially no King Diamond fans, right? And no one really listened to that stuff. So I always felt kind of like I stood out because of that. And one time I had a friend, he, again, liked some of the stuff I listened to, and he was like, hey, do you have any recommendations? I was like, yeah, check out King Diamond. He had his phone at the time, right? He had one of those, this is what, 2010, 2011. So even at that time, I didn't have a smartphone, but he had one of the smartphones. I was like, when those things really started becoming popular. And sure enough, I remember he pulled it up on YouTube. I was like, yeah, play the song Welcome Home, right? From them. And I was also going to recommend a Mercyful Fate song. I probably was going to recommend A Dangerous Meeting. I was like, oh, you got to check this out. This is great stuff, And he started playing it, right? The double bass kicks in. He's liking it. And this other guy we had a group that would hang out side, right, in the courtyard, right, in this one section, right? I always said it was the people that didn't fit any of the groups, right? You had your inside the lunchroom, you had your jocks, you had your video game nerd kids, and then you had the people that just stood out, an eclectic mix of characters. And we were the ones that were outside, just people all over. But this one person was passing by, and this guy was a total douchebag. You know, he listened to Drake and Wiz Khalifa. He listened to the crappiest crap of the crap, right? This guy, and of course, as he's walking by, you know, King singing, and he goes, "It sounds like a pig getting, you know, sexually assaulted," and he just was. And I said, "Look who's talking. You look like a pig getting sexually assaulted." And then the guy was a douche. You know, I forgot what happened to him. He probably, who knows what he's doing. He's probably, I honestly don't know. He was a dick. And so I just remember that. But I've always felt like, you know, you do come across it. Like people, some people just don't get it, right? You know, they don't appreciate, they just don't understand. And I didn't let it, you know, I really didn't let it. I told him to go screw off and left it at that. But to me, I've always, you know, had such an appreciation for King Diamond's music and what it was for me going through high school, right? You know, going through tough times and stuff. And so, yeah, when someone said something, you know, I shot back, you know, and told the guy, you know, screw off, you dumbass, idiot. Like I said, he was one of those kids, you know, he had the baggy pants and, you know, the shirts, you know, with the goofy little writing on it, you know, the gangsters, you know, he was a wannabe gangster. God, you know, Jesus, a bunch of morons, right? You know, just an idiot, right? Just it's not even worth your time. But that just kind of reminded me, like, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, you have those people, you know, that just they'll listen to King Diamond, and I just don't think they really understand, you know, the vocals, the guitar playing, maybe. But for a lot of metal fans, and I'm so glad, you know, over the years I connected with people, right? And that's what kind of the story is, right? You know, through the internet, through my radio show, right? Or through meeting people at concerts. You know, you go to concerts and I'd be wearing King Diamond shirts, and older fans would come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, Mercyful Fate, King Diamond, you know, that just, you know, when I was growing up, that was some of my favorite music, and that's so cool you're wearing that shirt." And you start talking with them. And it really is this strong cult kind of following, but it's very connected, right? We're very passionate. And so that's always been the thing that I said, you know, yeah, you got the people out there that will insult and try to put down the fans of Mercyful Fate and King Diamond, but it doesn't matter because in the end, we're all united and we're such fans. And that's why, I mean, King's been keeping it going. I've been lucky to see him. I saw King Diamond live. I was hoping to see Mercyful Fate. Fortunately, didn't really play anywhere close to me when they came through. I mean, I could have driven a couple hours or a few hours away. I'm hoping they come back. We'll see. And but no, I've been fortunate to see King Diamond, so I'm kind of happy there. And I'm happy he's going, right? He's still doing it. He's still playing. You know, a lot of artists, and you know, I know he had that the health issues there for a while. Or on that metal show, this was after he had the surgery. I think was it heart surgery, which was crazy. Or, you know, he had a serious surgery, and he came back. And like I said, I saw him 2014. Was that? He was in the Warfield. And he was awesome. It was a great show. Andy LaRoque sounded amazing. And he's been going strong. And I'd love to see Mercyful Fate put out a new release. I'd love to see King Diamond put out like a full-length release. That would be awesome. Don't know what's going on. I know he put out that one song. It was all right. But I definitely love to see more new music from King Diamond or Mercyful Fate. I think, you know, there's been talk about it. But anyway, if you have not checked out Don't Break the Oath, if you haven't checked out King Diamond releases at all, definitely, you know, do so. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. You know, recommendations I can give. Like I said, my favorite album is Them, because I was listening to constantly driving up to high school. My good buddy, I used to drive my one friend up to high school because he lived near me, and I was helping out his mom, so his mom didn't have to drive him. And we'd be, you know, blasting King Diamond while he'd roll down the window. Then I'd have to try to roll the window up because he liked to make fun of the drivers going up to school. Because I'll be honest, when I went to high school, and it says something too about the kids I went to high school. And I'm not trying to be racist, gosh darn it, people, don't take this. But there were a lot of people who parents were from Asia. And I know people are going to say that's stereotypical. Oh, you're racist, you're going to cancel me. But no, I'm being honest. When I say I would drive up to school and I would see some creative driving, And my friend, he was a bit of a unique character at the time. He said some things that you definitely need to maybe think about before saying. And he would, try to roll down the window to be funny, to say stuff if we passed somebody that was driving like a dink. And I'd have to tell him to stop it. No, don't do that. Gosh darn, I don't want to get charged with a hate crime or something. Because, oh, it was crazy. As he would put it, we had quite a few kamikaze drivers going up to school. And that's what he would say. But no, those parents, if you were in the parking lot, trust me, it was an experience. It was, oh my goodness. And it's still, anytime you drive up in that area, around where I went to high school, and then you're going out towards like Dublin, the Hacienda. I was just with my nephew. We just went out to dinner in Dublin a couple nights ago. And sure enough, that Fallon shopping center, we go to the 88 Bao Bao, the Chinese Hong Kong cafe we like. Oh my goodness, you get a lot of interesting people driving, and the Teslas parking way over the line, which my nephew even said the person that he saw parked in one spot was, I mean, it wasn't even funny how much the wheel was over. I mean, they were in the other spot, so goodness gracious. But anyway, it kind of reminded me, King Diamond reminded me of my interesting drives to high school, and my friend who would say some very non-PC comments, and I'd have to tell him to be careful, because he would try to roll the window down, be like, let me tell this person off. I'd be like, no, we're good. But yeah, 40 years. Congratulations, Mercyful Fate. And check out that. I know Metal Blitz, like I said, it has going on a lot of stuff with the website. See, new vinyl they're going to press, special edition. I'm sure the shirts they got coming out. They actually had quite a few different options I saw there. That's really cool, that this release has been around now for 40 freaking years. That's awesome, celebrating its anniversary, and the fans get a chance to just rejoice in an album. Like I said, I think it means a lot to the fans who just over the years have supported the band. And then also King, what he's done, he's been a true ambassador of heavy metal music, in my opinion. One of the figures that just stands out. So there you go. That's what this video is about. And like I say, I will try to be a little more regular. And yeah, there's been some good releases. Actually, I'm going to give a couple shout outs. The new Cemetery Filth album, it's actually an EP that came out that I really like. You should check it. I write for the rockandmetaltemple.blogspot.com. I reviewed that EP. They actually re-recorded one of the songs, was a Cosmic Wraiths, which was on the Four Doors to Death split. And then you have songs, they actually 3 new songs. It's a whole new lineup. Maddie Kilpatrick has put together a new group, which it's unfortunate, right, that the members previous times, in Cemetery Filth are no longer there. Actually, Maddie Kilpatrick, a huge King Diamond Mercyful Fate fan, has a ton of, releases as well. Actually, I think Maddie has a ton. There's, whenever I check out the social media page, Maddie's always sharing photos of the releases, shirts, just everything. So there you go. But Cemetery Filth, really good old school style death metal band. They put, like I said, new EP that I've been digging. Really good release. And yeah, there's some stuff coming. Hopefully, the year's not over. We still got, some time left. I'm hoping to hear more good releases. And you never know, something could come out, really, really stand out. And I know Yellow Cake, a punk band I like, I've talked about before on the channel. They're hopefully going to be putting out a new album. I saw later this month. We'll see. Really like the first demo release, Yellow Cake from Arizona, if you haven't checked it out. Really good crust, hardcore punk. Arizona scene, there's quite a few really good bands in terms of death metal, like war metal, hardcore punk. The underground scene in that part of the country, Arizona, Phoenix, really impressive. They've had some good bands come out. Savage Necromancy, band I've talked about before here on the channel. Actually, the singer in Yellow Cake, she sings in Savage Necromancy as well. So, and there's another black metal band from that Arizona area that I really liked. Trying to remember, actually, the name escapes me right now. Somebody had sent me some of their music. And Eternal. is actually a band that's really good. They're a death metal band from Arizona. So give some shout outs here at the end of the video. But all right, people, thank you for watching. And again, congratulations, Mercyful Fate. 40 years. Don't break the oath. One of the great releases that you see. I got the shirt. Going to go walk around, scare the neighbors, and say, hey, look at this great album cover. What you gonna do, right? Anyway, everyone, you take it easy. Rob the Mill Guy signing off. Later. Bye.